Hello and welcome back to another week of Cubs TV. We're here on this fine Sunday at Gambamora Park here at the Coomera Cubs Baseball Club, where we are about to see the kickoff of the first game of round 6 of the Coomera Cubs versus the Pine River Rapids. So we had a washout on Friday night where they were supposed to play off at Beenleigh, but due to a huge storm that came, I think, through the whole of the southeast of Queensland, the game was washed out. So we will see up on our screens in a second the Cubs lineup for today. And so we have Ian Lee leading off, playing shortstop, Oscar Hyde as the starting pitcher in the 2-hole, Nick Hawkins in centre field, Michael Sharp batting 4 catching, Riley Ford playing 3rd, batting 5, Sam McNeese playing 1st, batting 6, Dylan Sipple playing 2nd, batting 7, Patrick Day playing left field, batting 8, Max Dempsey batting last, playing right field. So that's our lineup for today. Young Oscar Hyde starting on the mound, so he started last week as well, I believe, and had quite a good outing against the Red Sox last week, so gets another chance to go out there again and start today. So now we'll have a quick look at the Pine River Rapids lineup. Which will be up on our screens in just a moment. And while we're waiting for that to happen, we'll have a chat about some of the other players from the Cubs. So the Cubs haven't played the Pine River Rapids as of yet this season. Last season, I believe they did play off, and I think both teams looked quite different last season. So it'll be interesting to see, compared to last season, what the games look like today, and especially with a doubleheader. Obviously, a doubleheader is always a lot more difficult for a squad than a Friday night and Sunday night game, because you've got so many more factors to add in. You don't have a break for pitches, so if you're pitching a pitcher, that will be the only time of the day that he will most likely be able to pitch, because it's never a good thing to bring back in a pitcher on the same day, as they generally pitch too many, and there is a certain amount of time in between games that pitchers are allowed to come back on the field. So there's lots of factors with pitching that squads need to take into account, as well as catching. I mean, you don't want your catcher to be catching 2 games straight, especially on a hot Sunday like today. So yeah, lots of different factors, as well as you've got a big squad and you want to get everyone on, but also wanting to win. So you have to just weigh up a lot of different things, and it can be really difficult for some teams. I'm sure there are teams out there that would have huge squads that have a very deep pitching lineup, as well as lots of catches and lots of everything, that would love a doubleheader because it gives everyone a fair chance on the field. And when you have so much time, there is plenty of room for everyone to get out there and have a go. So I'm currently pulling up all of the stats so far this season, because we did not have a game on Friday night, so there's not much to talk about between the River Rapids and the Cubs. We see the coaches case bunting for the Cubs and the umpires out on the field having the team meeting now. So we are not far from game time, folks, and we'll be here for all 4 hours of gameplay today. So with a double header, the games are limited to 2 hours. So these games will be, I think it's 7 innings they're capped at. So it's not a 9-inning game, and there is a time limit. So it will be only 7 innings if they can get to 7 innings in the 2 hours. And if they cannot get to 7 innings and it reaches 2 hours, then it will be capped at 2 hours. So we don't have a guessing game of how long we're going to be here today. We know we will be here for 4 hours straight. So if you are in the area and you are planning on coming down, we're going to be here until around 5 o'clock with lots of baseball. And then after the game, I'm sure plenty of the fellas will hang around like they normally do to have food and drinks and hang out after the game. So you see the Cubs there just having a pre-game chat. The Div 2 just won 10-4, I believe the score was, if I am correct. We'll have a double check now. So that yes, 10-4 was the score just then, and the Cubs took it out for the first game of today. And we see Oscar Hyde there on the mound now. So Oscar's only pitched 5 innings so far this season in 3 different games. So he's had about 7 earned runs off him, and he's got an ERA of 5.400. So today could be a good day for him to not let in some runs or have a bit of a turnaround in his stats. Starting again today. This is only his second start of the season, as I said.
Oh, now let's go. Go back. Go, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And up on our screens there we see Shane Stevens, the plate umpire for today. And we will see the first pitch in just a moment. Going to be straight down the middle for strike 1. 4-1 on the outside.
Double!
And that ball will be grounded to third and into the hands of Sam McNeese at first for the first out of the ball game. So Cubs starting off strong there with a nice clean 5-3 play to start the ball game. So on our screens there we see the starting lineup for the Pine River Rapids Baseball Club. So we got Luke Smith, who we just saw ground out, Dermot Fritsch, Wade Dutton, Brad Dutton, Josh Fritsch, Steve Greer, Ryan Fritsch, and I missed those last two. And that'll be ball 1. And ball 2 in the dirt.
Come on, bud. Hey, bud. Hi, Jeremy. Good, good.
So I have actually just been corrected here. We do have no time on these games. It is 7 innings and no time. So as long as it takes us to get 7 innings in both games, is how long the games will take. So we do not have a time limit on today, much to my distress. And that ball will be flied up into shallow right field. And Sam McNeese from first base will just miss that. I think a bit of sun in the eyes there stopped him from being able to see that. So that'll put a runner on 1 with 1 out and bring up Wade Dutton to the plate, second baseman for the Pine River Rapids. It'll be down the middle for strike 1. And in the dirt for ball 1. And a very slow pick off there to first base. Won't get there in time. And down the dirt for ball 2. Foul that off for strike 2 to bring the count to 2-2. With 1 out and a runner on 1.
Go, Wade, come on, bud. Come on, bud. Here you go, Wade.
And that ball will be flied out into left center and caught by Nicholas Hawkins, who will throw the ball into first and will just not be in time to get the double play there. Would have been quite spectacular if he was able to make the catch and get the runner out at first. But that'll be 2 outs now with a runner still on 1 and bring up Brad Dutton to the plate. And a big swing and a miss for strike one. And another big swing and a miss for strike two. And down in the dirt for ball one. And that ball will be flied out into right field. And straight into the hands of Max Dempsey to end the top of the first. So that'll be a bit of a slow start to the game, but only in the top of the first. Plenty of time to start some action. So we'll be right back in the bottom. Let's see what the Cubs can do.
Hi, I'm Sam Hall with the Brisbane Bandits, and when my catcher's not around, I rely on my power nets to help me with my training. And the addition of the pads back there really helped me hit my spots. And remember, when you're training, only use power net.
Welcome back to the bottom of the first, where we see a 0-all ball game at the moment, with Dallas Wakefield on the mound as starting pitcher for the Pine River Rapids. So up first for the Cubs, we have Ian Lee leading off, who will take the first pitch down the middle for strike one. And that pitch will be just low to bring the count to 1-1. And he will ground that ball into the hands of shortstop, who will make the play to first. A great throw by Luke Smith to get the first out of the inning. And we got Greg Brow as the first plate umpire. And starting pitcher for the Cubs, Oscar Hyde at the plate. We'll foul that one off for strike one. And he'll foul that one off for strike two. up again to keep the count at 1-2. And down the dirt for ball 2. Sorry, ball 1. So we got the fix there. It's Greg Stevens, his first base umpire. That ball will be flied into left and caught by Dermot Fritsch for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Nicholas Hawkins to the plate, the Cubs. That ball will be down low for ball 1. That ball will be flied deep into center left and drop over the head of Fritsch. And Hawkins will round first and stand up at second for a 2-out leadoff double. And like I was saying last week, the Cubs have been very strong with their 2-out rallies, so we'll see what will happen here. 2 outs and 4-hole batter Michael Sharp up to the plate. So we've seen plenty of times with the Cubs. 2 outs is not the end of the inning for them. They've had many rallies here. So we'll see if Michael Sharp that ball was flied extremely high there. Just go foul. So unlucky. That was very, very close to being a a home run there. And now the ball will be high to bring the count to 1-1. That ball will be down low for ball 2. And that ball will be flied into center right and drop over the heads of center field and right field to bring home 1 run on a stand-up double. And once again, folks, it looks like we're getting another 2-out rally here in the bottom of the first. So that'll bring the score to 1-0 for the Cubs. And bring up Riley Ford to the plate. And a big swing and a miss for strike 1. And down in the dirt for ball 1. And fouled off down the left field line. Bring the count to 1-2. And high for count of 2-2. And down the dirt for full count. With 2 outs and a runner on 2. Dallas Wakefield with the opportunity to shut it down. And Riley Ford will keep alive with another foul ball down left field line.
Come on, boys, here we go, here we go. On now. Let's come out of the fucking blocks. We need to do the same. Let's go.
And with the Cubs in the lead, 1-0. Steve Greer shutting it down there with the catch. We will be right back in the top of the second to see what the Pine River Rapids can do.
When we're born, we're more alike than we are different. Then somewhere along the way, we start to believe the more distant we are from each other, the more different we are. It's only when we venture into the world that we see all we share. Maybe that's the power of flight. Delta isn't flying just to bring us together, but to show we were never that far apart.
We need to start moving again, Australia. Moving as though our lives depend on it. Every one of us needs to target at least 30 minutes of heart rate raising physical activity a day. Because if we don't move it, we'll lose it. Search for
Welcome back to the top of the second, where we see the Cubs leading the ball game 1-0. Oscar Hyde on the mound for the Cubs. We see Josh Fritsch at the plate for the Pine River Rapids, who will take ball one outside. That ball will be called on the outside edge for strike one. That ball will be fouled off for strike two. And a big swing and a miss to strike out Fritsch and get the first out of the inning. Great pitch there by Oscar Hyde. Going to bring up Steve Greer to the plate. One out. Down the middle for strike one. And that ball will be lined up the middle for a stand-up single to lead it off for the Pine River Rapids. Great piece of hitting there to start it off. And then I'll bring up Ryan Fritsch to the plate. The third Fritsch boy we've seen at the plate today. So I believe them to be brothers, the Fritsch boys. And Greer will steal second on that wild pitch. Ball one on Ryan Fritsch. Always love seeing siblings playing in teams together. I believe the Dutton boys, who we saw at the plate earlier, are also brothers. So got a big lot of family here today. That'll be a big swing and a miss for strike one to bring the count to 1-1. Time called at the plate. And down in the dirt for ball 2. And they'll foul that one off for strike 2. Down to 2-2 now with 1 out. And a runner on 2. With a runner in scoring position, chance here for the River Rapids to come back. Pine River Rapids to come back. Call them the PRR. Pine River Rapids is a bit of a mouthful, I reckon. And a big swing and a miss on a slider will shut down Fritsch at the plate and bring up Liam Shearer with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Chance here for them to do exactly what the Cubs did in the first and maybe score a runner with 2 out. That ball will be down low. Ball 1. Fouled off for strike 1. Count of 1-1 now. The ball will be grounded into the hands of Dylan Sipple at second base, who will make a turning throw and a huge split at first base by Sam McNeese. Will get the 3rd out of the inning. What a great play. Great jumping throw by Sipple at second base and a great stretch by McNeese at first. That'll end the top of the 2nd and take us into the bottom.
And I just be all by myself. I love the way you stay away from me. You make me melt. Those nights you used to come and stay with me, but playing in my memory is no such thing as memory. That's so kind of way you talk, the way you leave your mouth, just can't break you from my thoughts.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 2nd, where we see the Cubs leading the ball game 1-0, and Sam McNeese will start off the 2nd with a fly ball, which will be caught in left field by Demont Fritsch. That'll be the first out of the inning. And bring up Dylan Sipple to the plate. After a great play in the last inning, Dylan Sipple probably looking to make this game even better today. That's another thing about a double header. Doing this for strike two. There is not much chance for mistakes and mental mistakes, really. And a big swing and a miss will shut down Dylan Sipple at the plate for the second out of the inning. So double headers require a lot of mental focus, because if the team's heads drops or even one player's head drops, it's going to affect them all day, and you can't afford that in double headers, seeing as it's such a short time and not enough time for the team to come back from a mental error, really. With Friday night and Sunday night games, you've got plenty of time to recover from the mental error that may have occurred, but only a 15-minute break between these two games today. So Patrick Day will fly that ball into left field and over the head of Rich. Oh, not over the head. What a great running catch there. And that'll end the second. Wow, didn't even see him catch that over the head on the other side. Great catch to end the second, and we'll be back in the top of the third.
There's going to be a lot of bloopers in this one. Hello everyone at home.
Top three. Top five, let's go.
Welcome back to the top of the third, where we see the Cubs leading the ball game 1-0. At the plate now for the Pine River Rapids is Dallas Wakefield, the starting pitcher. That ball will be flied into center field for the first out of the inning. I don't think anyone on either team can find the gaps at the moment. There's been lots of fly outs straight into the gloves of all of the outfielders. Getting lots of action out there, certainly. That'll bring up the top of the lineup for the Pine River Rapids with Luke Smith at the plate. We'll take that first pitch down the middle for strike one. That ball in the dirt. 4-1. Ball will be grounded into the hands of Ian Lee at shortstop. And we'll get a bad hop, but we'll keep it in front to hold Smith at first base. So that'll put a runner on one with one out. And bring up DeMott Fritsch to the plate. That ball will be high for ball one. And a pick-off attempt there will turn into a bit of a rundown, but Smith will get to second in time.
Come on, bud, go, man, let's
The
go.
tag won't be laid. I think his hand just got under the tag there.
Come on, Jody, trade places, let's go.
To put him on second now with one out. And one ball on Fritsch at the plate. And a big swing and a miss for strike one.
Come on, bud. Come on, don't.
On drive, going back.
Here, Dan. Come on, Damien. Hang it now, something like that, Debbie.
And in the dirt for ball two.
Come on, Dan. Come on, bud. Here you go, Dan. Let's go.
And a big swing and a miss for strike two to bring the count to 2-2.
Come on, bud.
One out and a runner in scoring position.
Come on, Dan.
Ball will be high to bring the count to full count.
Go on, bud. Yep.
Hyde on the mound, a little unhappy with the distance that Smith is getting off the bag there, I think.
Here you go, Darren.
The pitch will be fouled off
Good.
to stay in the count. Rich having a quality at bat at the plate at the moment.
Come on, Damien. Come on, bud.
And foul that one off again.
Come on, bud. Come on, Damien. Come on, bud. Come on, Damien.
And he will foul tip that one to get the second out of the inning for Oscar Hyde.
Come on, Wade, pick him up. Here we go, bud. Pick him up, drive the ball.
Oh, wait.
And that will bring up
Come on, bud. Let's go.
Wade Dutton to the plate. Runner still on two with 2 outs now. That ball will be called on the outside edge of the plate for strike one.
Go, wait. on, bud.
And down the dirt for a count of 1-1.
Go, Wade. Here we go, Wade. There you go, Wade. There you go, Wade.
A tie for ball 2.
Come on, bud. Come on. Come on, Wade. Come on, bud. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Wade. Go on, Wade. You go, Wade.
And that ball will be flied up high into centre field. And Hawkins will collect the catch to get the third out of the inning, which will end the top of the third and take us into the bottom, where the Pine River Rapids will take the field again.
Bounce, boys, bounce. Go, Max, come on. There you go, Dallas.
Welcome back to the bottom of the third, where the Cubs are still leading the ball game 1-0. A big swing and a miss on Max Dempsey at the plate will be the first strike. And he will foul that one off for strike 2. And a big swing and a miss on the down low outside pitch there will get the first out of the inning for the Pine River Rapids. And that'll bring up the top of the lineup with Ian Lee at the plate. Pitch 1 will be outside and low. And pitch 2 in the dirt again. And called strike 1. And called strike 2 for a count of 2-2 now. And fouled off to keep the count at 2-2. And outside for ball 3. And outside for ball 4. And that will put Lee on first base with 1 out and bring up Oscar Hyde to the plate. That ball will be flied into shallow centre field to get a stand-up single for Hyde. And that will put runners on 1 and 2 with 1 out and bring up Nicholas Hawkins to the plate. It will take ball 1 in the dirt. And then it'll be ball 2, or 3 down low, sorry. And down outside for ball 4. And that will load up the bases with 1 out. And bring up Michael Sharp to the plate. He will foul that one off for strike 1.
Work for 1, Sharpie, work for 1.
And that ball will not be caught and will go foul for strike 2. And foul that one off again to stay in the count. And that ball will be flied into right field and go past right fielder. 1 run, 2 run, 3 runs will come home. And Michael Sharp will stand up at third with a stand-up triple to clear the bases. What a great piece of situational hitting there for Michael Sharp. That will bring the score to 4-0 for the Cubs and bring up Riley Ford to the plate.
Bat for us, Riley, come on. 1 to knock in, bud.
And that'll be a called strike 1 on Riley Ford at the plate. And that ball will be grounded into the hands of Smith at shortstop, who will make the play at first for the second out of the inning. Michael Sharp will hold at third, and that will bring up Sam McNeese to the plate.
Right here, Sammy. Work for 1, Sammy, come on. All you.
And that ball will be high for ball 1.
Get yours now, Sammy.
We'll foul that off for strike 1. and inside for ball 2. Great pitch to bring the count to 2 and 2 with 2 out and a runner on 3. The high foul ball down left field line to stay in the count. And fouled off again. Very close down the left field line there. It's being fair, but just foul. And full count with a runner at third and 2 outs. That ball will be inside to put McNeese at first. This will bring up Dylan Sipple to the plate with 2 outs and the runners on 1 and 3. And he will fly that one up into center right and straight into the hands of Steve Greer, who will shut down the third and take us into the fourth with the Cubs leading the ball game 4-0.
About the situation, trying to get to see what my mind's racing. Only got each other we can turn to. Lying here and know that we were brave, you brave.
You and me nobody else. If it can't be that way, then I just be all by myself. I love the one stay away from me. You melt. Those nights you used to come and stay with me, but playing in my memory is no such thing. So kind of way you talk, the way you leave your mouth, just can't break you from my.
Welcome back to the top of the fourth, where the Cubs are leading the ball game 4-0 after a great offensive inning in the bottom of the third. Oscar Hyde is still on the mound for the Cubs. And Brad Dutton is at the plate for the Pine River Rapids. That ball will be high to bring the count to 1-1. And outside for ball 2. And that ball will fly into center field and straight into the glove of Nick Hawkins for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Josh Fritsch to the plate for the Pine River Rapids. And that ball will be called in the top part of the zone for strike 1. And down outside for ball 2.
Hey go, Josh. Hey go, Chris. Hey go, Josh. Something like out in front there. Go.
And high for ball 3.
Hey Josh, you go on time, hey bud.
Hi, Josh. Come on, mate. Josh. Hey go, Josh. Hey go.
Good boy.
Hello, Josh. Go to the ball. There we go. There you go.
And that will be ball 3, sorry.
There you go, kid. Go, Josh.
With one strike. Oh no, that was a swing. Sorry. So a count of 3 and 1. And that'll be called for strike 2. Full count now.
Here you go, Josh.
Trust your eyes there, bud.
Hi, Josh. Come on, mate. Here you go, Josh.
Hey Josh, here you go, hey bud.
And that ball will be flied into the left field and will drop in for a stand-up single for Josh Fritsch at the plate.
Great job, kid.
That will start it off with 1 out for the Pine River Rapids and bring up Steve Greer to the plate. That ball will be grounded and come off the hand of Riley Ford at third. And Josh Fritz will take the extra base. And that will move both runners round. Now with 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 out. That will bring up Ryan Fritsch to the plate. Good spot for the Pine River Rapids to be in here. Early on in the game is a good time to be coming back
Hey, doing the minimum, you go.
with runs.
Alright.
The pitch will be down low for ball 1.
Come on, Ryan, here you go.
Alright, come on, mate.
And a big swing and a miss for strike 1.
Here you go, Ryan. Come on, Ryan.
And that ball will catch Fritsch on the elbow and will load up the bases for the Pine River Rapids. Now this will action a bit of a chat out on the mound from head coach Case Bunting to Oscar Hyde. And with a couple of errors there, that'll bring Hyde off the mound. And Kyle Watson will come out to relieve Oscar Hyde. So we'll be back right after he has a short warm-up on the mound.
up, come on. One out.
Come on, bud. Come on, bud. Hang on, Liam.
All right, so we're here in the top of the fourth. Carl Watson has come onto the mound for Oscar Hyde. Bit of a tough situation here for him. And that ball will be flied up and be over the fence and on our heads here. For strike one.
Here you go, Liam.
So it'll be one strike. Tough situation for Carl Watson coming in with loaded bases and only one out. They'll throw that one just outside, bring the count to 1-1.
Here you go, Liam.
That ball will be flied up into shallow right field. And we'll go foul. Bring the count to 1-2 now. So not only is this tough for Watson on the mound, but Liam Shearer at the plate. Definitely being a lot of pressure right now.
Come on, Liam, brother, bud. Get a barrel on one. Barrel on one.
And down in the dirt for ball two. Count of 2-2 now. Definitely a pitcher's count.
Here you go, Liam.
And that ball will go in a very, I don't know what I was about to say there, but a big foul ball from Liam Shearer. So count of 2-2 still. Pitches count. And another foul ball. Liam Shearer staying alive here.
Make sure you can get back. Want to do it here.
Come on, Liam. Your chance, bud.
And that ball will be lined into right field and drop in, and 1 run will come home. And 2 runs will come home for the Pine River Rapids with a great piece of hitting by Liam Shearer.
I looked at the throw and I was like, no chance, mate. Hey Wilson, fuck you, man.
And so with 1 out, 2 runs scored. Runners still on 1 and 3. Dallas Wakefield, the starting pitcher, will step up to the plate. And that ball will be high inside for ball 1.
You like it down.
Pick off at first, won't be it in time. And if you're joining us just now, the Pine River Rapids are having a comeback here in the fourth. Get that ball high for ball 2. And that'll be called on the outside edge for strike 1. Hitters count here with 2 and 1. That ball will be grounded in the gap between second and third, and will score another run. Pine River Rapids bring the score to 4-3. So they have completely closed that gap now, only a 1-run deficit, and still only 1 out. with runners now on 1 and 2. And it'll bring the top of the lineup with Luke Smith at the plate. And that ball will be flied into centre field, and Hawkins will make the catch for the second out of the inning. And the Cubs looking to shut it down before Pine River Rapids can catch up. So that'll bring up Dermot Rich to the plate. That ball will be fouled off for strike 1.
On the dirt now.
And high inside to bring the count to 1 and 1. Another high foul ball. Bring the count to 1 and 2. And that ball will be in the dirt, and both runners will advance to put 2 runners in scoring position now with a count of 2 and 2 at the plate. And Demont Fritsch, and 2 outs. Ball game could completely turn around here for the Pine River Rapids, or the Cubs could shut it down. He will foul that one off again to stay in the count. And that ball will be lined up the middle into centre field, and 2 runners will come home, and that will put the Pine River Rapids in the lead with a score of 5-4. The ball game has just completely turned around now, with the Pine River Rapids coming back from a 4-0 score to now a 5-4 score in their favour. So now with still 2 outs and a runner on 1, Wade Dutton will step up to the plate. Double checking the outs there on the field. Certainly 2 outs. And that pitch will be just inside for ball 1.
Come on, Wade. Come on, Wade.
And called strike 1 on the outside edge, and the throw at second just not in time. I think he just got under the tag there. And a foul ball for strike 2.
Now what you looking for? Let it come.
and grounded into the hands of Riley Ford at third base, who will make the play at first to end the inning. So that inning will be definitely a game-defining inning, with the Rapids scoring 5 runs to come back from a 4-0 lead, with the Cubs now running behind by 1 run. So we'll be back in the bottom of the 4th to see what they can do to come back.
There's going to be a lot of bloopers in this one. Hello everyone at home.
Good work now, go.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th, where the Pine River Rapids are now leading 5-4. And Kyle Watson at the plate has 2 balls on him. And that'll be a big swing and a miss for strike 1. That ball will be grounded into the hands of third base, who will make the throw in time for the first out of the inning. I did press the wrong button there. There is no home run, sorry. But 1 out now for the Pine River Rapids, and Max Dempsey at the plate. And a big swing and a miss for strike 2. Count of 2-1 now. And a count of 2-2 now. And that ball will be flown into the hands of Smith at shortstop, who will throw to first, and the tag will be made for the second out of the inning. And that will bring up the top of the lineup with Ian Lee at the plate. And that will be called down the middle for strike 1. And fouled high and away for strike 2. And down outside for ball 2. And a foul tip to end the bottom of the 4th. And that will take us into the fifth with the River Rapids after a great inning, leading the ball game 5-4.
Hell of a play. Great job. Hell of a play.
Here we go, boys. Keep going. Keep that momentum. See boys walking away.
Can't help but think about the situation. Trying to get to sleep, but my mind's racing. Only got each other we can turn to. Lying here and know that we're break.
You and me, nobody else. Can't be that way, then I just be all by myself. I love the way you stay away from me. You make me melt. Those nights you used to come and stay with me, were playing in my memory. It's no such thing. So kind of way.
Welcome back to the top of the fifth, where if you're joining us just now, the Pine River Rapids had a strong fourth inning where they came back from a 4-0 lead and took over the ball game with a score now of 5-0, or 5-4, sorry. Kyle Watson came on the mound to relieve Oscar Hyde, who started the game. And Steve Greer, if I am correct, is at the plate. Sorry, Brad Dutton is at the plate. Gonna be called strike one. That'll be ball 4 to put Dutton on first with none out and bring up Josh Fritsch to the plate. And down low for ball 1. And just high for ball 2. And grounded down the third baseline for strike 1. And a called strike 2. At the plate, but that will be a overthrow at second base to put Dutton at third. So with a count of 2-2 now, none out. That ball will be high for ball 3. And that ball will be fouled up and out of reach of Michael Sharp behind the plate to stay in the count. And fouled off once again to stay in the count. and outside for ball 4. So that will put runners on 1 and 3 now with none out. And bring up Steve Greer to the plate. Pick off at first, we'll hold Fitch a bit closer. Steal second on that pitch, which will be just inside. And that ball will be grounded into the hands of Lee at shortstop. We will make the throw to first, but we'll go over the hands of Sam McNeese, and 2 runners will score on that error. So once again, the error's killing the Cubs this ball game. That'll bring the score to 7-4. The Pine River Rapids in the lead. So still none out with a runner on 1. And a big swinging at the miss at the plate. But the throw will not be in time at second. Ryan Fritsch at the plate with 1 strike on him. Having a little bit of a discussion on the field, not sure what that is about. Just clarifying the call there, but no change. 1 out. Oh, sorry, 1 strike and none out. Will be fouled off for strike 2. And fouled off again. Keep count at 0-2. And the high for ball. And down low for ball 2. I think a little bit of a disagreement with the call there, but it will remain the same. Count of 3-2. But he'll be fouled off to stay in the count. That ball will be in the dirt. I'll put runners now on 1 and 2. That'll bring up Liam Shearer to the plate with none out still and runners on 1 and 2. This ball game has completely switched here. See the attitude switch, the everything switch. Attempted bunt down the third base line. The strike 1 on Shearer at the plate. That ball will be flied into left field, and Patrick Day will make a diving catch to get the first out of the inning. Oh, Oscar Hyde will make a diving catch. Bit of a change out there, but Oscar Hyde is now in left field. What a great catch. That'll be the first out of the inning for the Cubs. And runners still on 2 and 3. That pitch will be just low for ball 1. And called strike 1 to bring the count to 1 and 1. And outside for ball 2. Count of 2 and 1. And that ground ball foul will make it 2 and 2. And fouled off again to stay in the count. And fouled off again. Down outside for ball 3. And up high for ball 4, and that will load up the bases once again and bring up Dallas Wakefield to the plate, who started it off last inning. And that pitch will be down the middle for strike 1. And that ball will be flied into right field, not be caught, and 1, 2 runners will come home, and the other 2 will hold up at second and third.
Aerodynamics. It's aerodynamics.
That'll start a little bit of a chat on the mound for Kyle Watson.
Oh, save the cans.
Save the worst back, bud.
That ball will be fouled off for strike one on Fritch at the plate.
Come on, bud. Man, straight you there, Jeremy. Come on, bud. Come on, bud. Come on, bud. Come on, Darren. Hey, I'm diamond tap.
And fouled off again to stay at a count of 2-2.
Come on, Damien. Come on, bud. Down here, Damien. You go.
You picking up audio here too, bud? Okay, that's right. I just want to make sure I can talk without being on
Damien.
picked up on the camera.
Oh, boys.
You go, Dermot.
Go on, Dave.
Come on, bud.
That's hot. That's hot.
And fouled off again.
Go ahead.
Wait on.
Come on, bud. Come on, Dermot. Double down the line.
Get up here, get up here. Get on the base, Smitty.
Go, Smitty, go,
Stay on
Smitty.
third. Stay on third.
And that rundown will get out the second out of the inning. Perfectly played out rundown there. Obviously been practicing that one.
Get away, Wade. Hold down there, balance the ball.
Come on, bud.
And that will bring up Wade Dutton to the plate. Now with 2 outs. And the runners on at 2 and 3.
Come on, bud. Lukewarm.
Ball will be flied up and go foul in right field.
Come on, Wade, let's go, bud. Do a job now, do a job here. There you go, Wade.
Finish it.
Come on, bud. Come on, Wade. There you go, Wade.
And fly ball in the infield to end the top of the 5th. And the Pine River Rapids now leading 9-4. The Cubs have a lot of catching up to do in the bottom, which we'll be right back to.
I just be all by myself. I love the one stay away from me. You melt. Those nights you
Welcome back to the bottom of the fifth, where that ball is flied high into right field and into the hands of Highland River Rapids player to get the first out of the inning. So great piece of hitting there by Oscar Hyde at the plate, but unluckily caught. That ball will be down low on Nicholas Hawkins. And that ball will be flied into right centre once again and be a stand-up single for Nicholas Hawkins. So that'll start off the bottom of the fifth with a bang and bring up Michael Sharp to the plate with one out and a runner on one. And called strike one. And a called strike two. An count of 1 and 2.
Double and roll, let's go.
And lined into centre field, will drop right before it could be caught. But that will put runners on 1 and 2 now with one out and bring up Riley forward to the plate. And foul off that one for strike one. And foul that one off again for strike two. And ball one. And down outside for ball two. And fouling that one off, stay in the count. And that'll be flied in the infield and caught for the second out of the inning. And ball one outside. And that ball will be flied into the hands of Brad Dutton at third base to end the bottom of the fifth and take us into the top of the sixth. And keep in mind, because it is a doubleheader today, this is the second last inning. We'll only go to the seventh before the next game will start. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back.
Regular, boys. Come on. Keep the energy. Keep the energy. Keep the bats on fire. Let's go. Come on, Brad.
Welcome back to the top of the sixth, where we see the Pine River Rapids leading the ball game 9-4. Kyle Watson on the mound for the Cubs came in a difficult situation when there were loaded bases, and the Pine River Rapids managed to deliver, hitting a stand-up triple and a couple of doubles there to score several runs. And that ball will be grounded into the hands of Ford at third base, who will make the play at first to get the first out of the inning. And with one out, that will bring up Josh Fritsch to the plate. Who will take first pitch outside for ball one. And that pitch will be outside again for ball two. And that ball will be flied into center left. Oscar Hyde running and will make the catch. Another great catch out there by Hyde for the second out of the inning. And that will bring up Steve Greer to the plate. Who will line one out into left field, and we'll get the stand-up single. And that will bring up Ryan Rich, who will fly that one into shallow center and into the hands of Nicholas Hawkins to end the top of the sixth. And after a short first half of the inning, we'll be right back in the bottom to see what the Cubs can do to maybe start a comeback.
Hi, I'm Sam Hall with the Brisbane Bandits, and when my catcher's not around, I rely on my power nets to help me with my training. And the addition of the pads back there really helped me hit my spots. And remember, when you're training, only use power net.
Welcome back to the bottom of the sixth, where we see the Pine River Rapids leading the ball game at 9-4. Dylan Sipple at the plate for the Cubs with 2 balls. And a called strike 1 down the middle. And outside for ball 3. and fouled off for strike 2. And that ball will be flied into left field and into the hands of Fritsch to get the first out of the inning for the Pine River Rapids. And we'll bring up Kyle Watson to the plate with 1 out. And that ball will be flied up in the infield and will be taken by Fritsch for the second out of the inning.
Here we go. Actually, take some good cuts, bud. Get him down. Get him down. Come on, bud.
That will bring up Max Dempsey to the plate with 2 outs now. And he will take that first pitch down the middle for strike 1. And down in the dirt for ball 1. That ball will be grounded down the third base line, and the play will be made in time to end the 6th and take us into the last inning of the ball game. And for those who have just joined, because we have a doubleheader today, they are only 7-inning games, so this will be the last inning of the game. So, welcome back to the top of the 7th. This is the last inning of this ball game. Because it is a doubleheader today, the games are capped to 7 innings. And our next game will be on a different stream, so to all those watching who want to watch the next game, if you subscribe to our channel or just keep an eye out on our Facebook, you will see the next stream be posted very shortly after this game ends. That pitch will be just inside for ball 4 to put a runner on 1. That pitch will be high for ball 1. And high for ball 2. And a pick-off attempt there at first. This won't be in time. Ball will be on the outside edge, called for strike one. And grounded down the third base line. The out at second will be in time, and so will the out at first. So great double play there, a 5 to 4 to 3. Riley Ford to Dylan Sipple at second, and then to Sam McNeese at first. What a great play. Plenty of attempts at that play all the time, and there we see a perfectly textbook play. And 2 outs now, so we'll bring up I believe Luke Smith to the plate. Two balls now. 3 balls now, sorry. And that ball will be flied into the infield. And Dylan Sipple will call it and catch it at second base to end the top of the 7th and take us into the last half inning of the game. So we will be right back after this short break to go into the bottom of the 7th.
When we're born, we're more alike than we are different. Then somewhere along the way, we start to believe the more distant we are from each other, the more different we are. It's only when we venture into the world that we see all we share. Maybe that's the power of flight. Delta isn't flying just to bring us together, but to show we were never that far apart.
We need to start moving again, Australia. Moving as though our lives depend on it. Every one of us needs to target at least 30 minutes of heart rate raising physical activity a day. Because if we don't move it, we'll lose it. Search for
Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th, where Ian Lee is at the plate for the Cubs, looking to lead it off. And the Pine River Rapids are leading the ball game 9-4. That ball will be down in the dirt for ball 1, sorry. And grounded into the ground at shortstop. Oh no, cool catch. So that line drive will be the first out of the inning. The catch in the dirt there at shortstop by Luke Smith. And we'll bring up Oscar Hyde to the plate with 1 out. And called strike 1 from Oscar Hyde. And down low for ball 1. And it fouled off for strike 2. And fly deep into center field. That ball will come off the glove, and Oscar Hyde will round second and stand up at third. And with 1 out, it'll be a runner now on third, and Nicholas Hawkins at the plate. And down low for strike, for ball 1, sorry. And down low again for ball 2. And called for strike 1. And a big swing and a miss for strike 2. And high for ball 3, full count now. That ball will be grounded up the middle, and the play will be made at first for the second out of the inning. And that runner will score for the Cubs, bringing the score to 5-9 in favour of the Pine River Rapids. And down low for ball 1 on Michael Sharp at the plate. And down low outside again for ball 2. And down low again for ball 3. 3-0 count now. And that pitch will be down like, oh. The throwback will hit Michael Sharp in the head. And this, my friend, is why we wear helmets. I don't think he barely felt that one, which is good. So, oh my goodness. I have never seen that before in person. Seen videos and laughed at them before, but geez. A bit of excitement for our end of game there. So with 2 outs and a runner on first, Riley Ford at the plate with a count of 1-1. Safety first is exactly right. Helmets on the ballpark. And outside for ball 2. That ball will be grounded into the hands of Dutton at third, who will make the play at second to end the ball game with a score of 9-5 to the Pine River Rapids. So that'll be our first of 2 games today, and this stream will end in a minute, and we will go to a different stream for the second game. But keep an eye out on both our YouTube and on our Facebook. We will be posting it up in both different medias. So we will be here for the second game as well all afternoon. So not long until we start that game, and we'll be right back for that.